Hey guys, sorry about that. Hey guys, this is Foolish Mortal 42 back with some more World of Warcraft, and we are finally here in Darkshire or Duskwood. Um, the town is Darkshire, the zone is Duskwood. And anyway, we're probably a little over leveled for some of this, but we're right on for some of the other stuff. So, it's probably one of my favorite old classic zones. Just it's so dark and kind of. Let's turn on low level quests just in case I miss some. So let's just start grabbing up quests and we will see what we can do here. Yeah, just the atmosphere. It's so. No, it's like it's fall perpetually. It's almost Halloween perpetually. The music is just so somber. My gnomish friend Cog has promised to help me build a device that will let me peer towards the stars. A truth exists beyond magic that can explain the strange transformation in the forest. Bring me a bronze tube made by a skilled engineer. Ah, oh, bronze tube. Shoot.
Be careful.
I should have grabbed that from the auction house. Or maybe there's one for sale.
Can I help you? Off and away.
Oh, it's marking the trainer. Okay. But I can grab one of those in the auction house pretty easy. And I know that you can buy them from engineer suppliers, but it's kind of semi-random.
Greetings.
Madam Eva, the legend of Stalvan. Last night a horrible disturbance rippled through my veins. I sensed that my granddaughter, Alyssa, was in great danger. I consulted the cards and death stared at me from the table. After taking a long journey through a dark trance, I was able to uncover a clue to this terrifying mystery. The name came to me, the name of Stalvan. Seek out the clerk in the town hall and see if you can find out more about this character. I fear for us all.
Go with honor, friend.
Totem of Infliction. As the mystical taint creeps through the forest, the need for self-protection is undeniable, Aldar. The winds whisper to me that and they speak of a great danger which waits patiently for you in the near future. If you wish to protect yourself, noble paladin, bring to me 10 ghoul fangs, 10 skeleton fingers, and 5 vials of spider venom. For you I shall enchant a totem of infliction, which will harm those who attempt violent acts against you. Which isn't actually bad if you're like a shadow priest or something like that. That's just going to be like face tanking some stuff. It's actually not bad.
Be careful.
Oh, I also off-screened my first aid training and did I think I forgot to up yeah, I forgot to oh, I'm one more point from up doing that. Got training. We didn't really get much. A lot of the retribution paladin stuff actually comes from the skill tree itself. Like Seal of Command, Crusader Strike, Penance, stuff like that. So yeah, once you get Blessing of Kings, I mean, you really don't have to do a whole lot else.
Light be with you.
Darkness seems drawn inexorably to Duskwood. Master Caravan's quest is the expulsion of evil and heresy. Through our efforts are the people of Darkshire kept safe. You believe yourself worthy to join us? I once thought as you, disillusioned by the complacency of the Watch. I joined Master Caravan. Caravan? You wish to prove yourself, it will be not through words. Test your skill against the Nightbane Shadow Weaver, Morgan, in the Brightwood Grove. Right, ha! In the Rotting Orchard.
Go with honor, friend.
Need help?
Oh gosh.
Light bless you.
Something's amiss at Raven Hill, Aldar. Haller swears that someone or something is haunting the buildings there. 2 nights running, he's noticed the shadows moving, and the third before that he says he saw light in one of the windows. If, as you say, you care about the safety of Duskwood, find out what monster haunts in Ravenhill.
Safe travels. Go with
A
honor,
hermit.
friend.
There was an old man who used to come to town to buy supplies rather frequently. I haven't seen him for quite some time now. He lives out in a shack overlooking Ravenhill Cemetery, if I remember correctly. Perhaps you should go see if something is amiss.
Farewell.
I'm sure nothing is. You know, Sven, now there's a man who does the work of the light. He and his followers keep a camp at the northwestern edge of Duskwood. Unfortunately, because they are so few, they cannot even spare a man to fetch supplies from town. Will you deliver these supplies to him? Yeah.
Safe travels.
We're picking up a ton of quests. And we picked up one in Stormwind to grab a tier of Taloa for reasons. I'm sure that person is totally legit. The Night Watch.
Hello.
As commander of the Night Watch, it is my sworn duty to protect the citizens of Darkshire. Stormwind has retracted their commissioned guards from their post here, leaving us to our own devices. To feel worthy of the task, we need your help. Assist the Night Watch by venturing forth into tranquil gardens just south of Darkshire and slaying 8 skeletal warriors and 8 skeletal mages. The undead threat must be thwarted.
Be careful.
Oh, yeah, also, we hit pay dirt with a couple of things, so yeah, that was nice. I think this is a cooking quest.
What can I do for you?
Seasoned wolf kebabs, nice. Seasoned wolf kebabs are a house favorite. Sure, I can make you some, but first I'll need the supplies. Bring me 10 lean wolf flanks as well as some Stormwind seasoning herbs. There are so few wolves here in the forest, I'm sure finding the flanks will be no problem. There are so many wolves. For the herbs, seek out Felicia Gump in her Canal District flower shop in Stormwind. But for us to cook it, we just have to have 2 lean wolf.
Light bless you.
Looking for something
Before I
specific.
head out, let us grab some sweet.
Be careful.
How are you?
All right. So Madam Ava sent you.
Safe travels.
Stalvan, eh? Let me check the town registry. Stalvan. Let's see. Here we go. I have a record of a Mr. Stalvan misspent. The last recorded address is the Moonbrook Schoolhouse. My, talk about outdated. Do me a favor, will you, friend? If you happen to go out to Moonbrook, let me know if you get any update on this fellow. I like to keep the records clean.
Have a good one. Greetings.
Crime and Punishment. This is a another
Go with honor, friend.
Stockades quest.
May the light embrace you. Dionys.
Greetings, Paladin. Trust your journey here was uneventful. These poor souls are beset upon all sides by the creatures of the night. It is our wish that you lend them what aid you can in pushing back the darkness. Travel about the town and get to know its inhabitants, and help them in any way you can.
May your days be long.
Yay!
Your hardships few.
More Exeter rep. Okay, so the easiest, well, I wouldn't say easiest, but so first things first, we're going to go up here and get this tier of Taloa because it's just a ground spawn. And there's a rare spider that's over here quite often. Yeah, all of these are actually good level quests. Ravenhill and deliveries to Sven. Oh, I forgot to turn that in. Yeah, that's in Lakeshire. So let's go get this ground spawn, and then what we will do is take a flight to Westfall, check out Moonbrook, and then come back before we get started on some of this other stuff. There's a lot of back and forth across the... Whoops. Oh. Is he elite? No, he's just really high level. No, I don't think I can kill him. Nope. Flee! I forgot that he was in there. Let's kind of take a more oblique approach, shall we? I'm also working on my two-handed axe skill. Holy cow, these guys are level 30? Because... Oh, wait. Contagion of Rot. Get rid of that. Oof. But anyway, the damage on the hammer, the Fist of Aragon, and the art war axe is actually almost the same. Really? Come on now. Oh, I can't use that. Dag. Why can I not use that? Holy cow. Maybe I'm not ready for this area. Whoa. Yeah, maybe we need to go down here first. I mean, that's all level 25, though. Ooh, that curse is rough, though. Alright, let's GTFO for now. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna have to let that go.
What can I do for you? Farewell.
So this will be a quick flight over, and we will... what we're going to do is we're going to go down here to Moonbrook. Oh, because there's a random... we'll land, go over to Moonbrook, do the Legend of Stalvan, which I think is just a ground spawn, and then we'll run back and then grab these turn-ins and kind of look and see how tough these wolves and spiders are over here. And yeah, and we want to pick up the Withered Grave. It says level 30, but you can pick it up at 25, and that will actually give us a really, really nice two-handed sword that is actually comparable to Varigan's Fist. So it kind of frustrates me that we went through all that. And, well, I mean, you know, it's a few points better. The stats, strength and stamina, intellect, spirit. I think that spirit actually does help us a little bit. Spirit on your lower level characters is actually really good, actually. Actually. Because you have such a small pool of health and mana at that point that your regen is much better. So having that extra in combat regen is not a horrible thing to have. I also farmed up some crisp spider meat and tough condor meat and leveled up our cooking a bit. I do need to hit a trainer just to go over 150 though. I don't know why that bronze too. I guess because you can loot bronze tubes in chest maybe, or not for sure. An old footlocker. The old footlocker creaks open. You find a dusty unsent letter in the old footlocker. Who is this mere Draenei that meddles with that which is past? May the legend of Stalvan die along with you. No, I don't think so. Yeah, sometimes you can find, I think they're called engineering crates or parts crates. They're kind of like the food and water. Yeah, I think that's why that is flagging that there. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, so lovely. These curses just keep stacking on each other. That's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, if we can, yeah, we'll definitely be able to get a level here. It's not horrible. Yeah, those wolf flanks from seasoned wolf kebabs, I usually get a ton of those. So we'll be able to level our cooking up pretty easily. I just need a little bit more silver and like some tin. And I can get mining training and start, well, actually, yeah, and grabbing some iron. We'll have a couple of cave systems that we can delve into here. Okay, so these guys are not too bad. Raven Hill. Hey, Jitters.
Good day to you.
No, please don't kill me. It's just me, Jitters. They're everywhere. I can't escape them. Monsters in Ravenhill? No, couldn't be. Only harmless Jitters.
See you later. What can I do for you?
I've been stuck hiding in this ghost town for weeks, and I haven't eaten anything but grubs and weeds. I need some decent food, and I'm willing to trade well for it. Bring me a feast, and I'll pay you handsomely. I heard Chef Grawl at the Scarlet Raven Tavern in Darkshire makes very good dusky crab cakes,
See you around.
which we can also learn, I believe. Did that... Yeah, so that completed Ravenhill, yeah. Let's go up here and talk to Sven, because he also has some quests for us. Brave robbers, mid-20s, skeletal horrors, low 20s. Okay, so we should be okay. This is kind of an odd zone because the quests closer to town are actually harder. So... two-handed masons. Next.
Well met.
You look a sturdy type, Paladin. Have you come to join our fight? I have indeed. These supplies will be most useful. The aid of the Caravan family is always appreciated. Here's a little something for your trouble. Thank you.
Greetings.
Ben's Revenge. I used to work one of the farms in the southeast until dark riders from Deadwood Past descended upon my farm and slaughtered my family when I was away. When I returned, I saw a shadowy figure skulking near my barn, burying something. He fled before I could catch him, and I couldn't linger, for I was hot on the heels of the dark riders. I never discovered what was hidden. If you can find what the shadowy figure buried, I would be grateful. The hiding spot is behind the old stump near my barn.
Light bless you.
We'll go there shortly.
You need something?
Wolves at our heels. Sven and I have dangerous days ahead of us, what with the necromancer to the east and all. Now here alone, as we are, we have to hunt for our own food. Seems every time I'm headed back to camp with some meat on me, starving or rabid direwolves come out of the forest and wanting a bite. It goes without saying, living out here is dangerous work. But if you can rid us of some of these wolves, we'd have an easier time of it. They mostly prowl north and east of us, near the river. Okay.
Safe travels.
So that's two birds, one stone. We're just kind of riding around. We'll kind of start killing some stuff. Ooh, level 28. Right. A weathered grave. So this is the start of a really good quest. And it'll get us a pretty cool looking sword too. The weathered grave marker reads simply Morgan Lattimore. On further examination, you know that dirt over the grave has been recently disturbed and that a good amount of the dirt seems to have been displaced. This is just a really, really cool zone. I absolutely love it. And we've got this like super cool cemetery with like hidden entrances and secret tunnels. Ooh, spider silk. Spider silk sales are really good because there's several items that they added in I think it was Burning Crusade, like a pair of boots and cloak for like low level that a lot of casters really want. And it just takes several spider silk to make. Handed axes, 125. Okay, so we're getting there. Fighting these kind of low level stuff till that curse wears off. There's going to be a lot of killing of these wolves. Because there's rabid dire wolves, and then there's like the starving dire wolves. And here's this nice elderly hermit, Abercrombie. He just needs a little hand. You know, he just needs some help.
Hey there.
Elaine Caravan. Oh yes, of course, the Caravans. No, nothing's wrong, but it is hard for me to go into town now. The roads are dangerous, and I'm not getting any younger. Maybe you could do an old man some favors.
Have a good one. Good day to you.
Oh, what is a poor old man to do? I need some supplies from Darkshire, but the village is so far away, and I'm so old and feeble, I would never make the trip. Can you go to Darkshire and bring back some ghost hair thread? You can get it from Madame Eva at her home at the Darkshire. Where?
Safe travel.
Of course. So what I usually do, is go south. There we go. But you can do, you can kind of go either way, really. You can go north along this big empty spot, or south. If you go south along this ridge, you can pick up another quest here, and then Sven's Revenge. And then, of course, there's mining opportunities. I mean, all of these freshly tilled graves, I'm sure they don't mean anything. Yeah, now, these guys are a little tougher. At level 25, we should be able to rip through these without too much trouble. don't want to kill too many spiders because we're getting ready to get a quest to kill those as well. I was hoping for 10, but I will take the copper. Yeah, a really, really good place to, if you're mining and you're on Alliance, is the Orc caves that I was at earlier. The Black Rock Orcs up there, that cave system, that was really, really good. A lot of wool, a lot of tin and silver in there, and silver sales are really, really good. Or at least it is on this server. Actually, where I got the majority of that.
King's honor, friend.
Eight-legged menaces. Kill 15 pygmy venom web spiders. Okay. 4 strength, 1 agility. Not bad. Not
Be
bad.
careful.
And those are up here. Go down to Sven's Revenge down here. Ooh, more device. Oh wow, they're at a high level. Miastrelli. Oops. Oh no. Yeah, I keep forgetting how big of a area of effect that actually is. Well, that was almost horrifying. Alright, well, at least we're getting some silk cloth, though. Mound of dirt is here, hastily piled up as if someone had need of hiding something without much time to do it. Digging through the mound, you find a small dirt-stained book. The book has no title, but it has information Sven would like to know. Can I read it? Yes, I can. The terror of these past few weeks is almost more than I can bear, yet I feel that by writing down that which I've seen, it will somehow be comforted. So I do it, and it is the only comfort I have these bleak days. It began with the finding of that cursed scythe in Roland's Doom. Before the scythe, the terrors of this place seemed as tame as Northshire Valley. Ever since I found the haft of the scythe jutting out from a pile of rubble in the mine and cursed me, pulled it free, Roland's Doom became a place of vile death. After the scythe was freed, they came at us from everywhere, flying from hidden holes at our feet and dropping upon us from silent perches above. Half our men fell in those first panic minutes. The rest, including myself, tried to flee. As I ran, I saw so many of my brothers taken by tooth and claw, heard so many screams cut short or gurgle to silence. I can only guess why I survived that night. I have always been cautious, always quick to flinch from jabs and leap free of pitfalls. My nickname comes from this trait. So perhaps it was just that knack for caution that saved me, or maybe it was the scythe that I pulled from the rubble. It cannot be that the scythe itself, for I lost it during my frantic flight. But if it was I who brought the worgen to Duskwood, then perhaps the worgen afforded me a rare courtesy. Curse them. After surviving the flight from Roland's Doom, I hid within a barn owned by a man named Sven. I spent a few days in the barn, and such horror lingered with me that I never once made myself known to Sven or his family. But from what I saw from my hiding place, I knew these farmers were quite decent folk. Had I stepped from my concealment, I think they would have taken me in, but trust is hard for me, harder still after that shock in the mine. So I remained hidden. The rest of the book is plain. So, we're starting to figure out where the worgen have come from here. But the worgen that are in Shadowfang Keep, Aragorn actually summoned them himself. So, has the worgen came from like outside, from another area? There's a quest in Ashenvale that actually like kind of explains where the worgen came from also. But I can't remember how, or not how, but where that quest chain actually starts. But we've got plenty on our plate right here. But it is an interesting kind of quest chain, or like not quest chain, but what am I trying to say? The way that the two quests, even though they're on different continents, are similar, but aren't necessarily concretely connected, if that makes sense. I don't know. Okay. So as we ride back up to Sven, we will kill a bunch of wolves and spiders. Pretty much anything that you can put in the auction house, you probably should. I mean, that's kind of always been my philosophy, is get you a little auction add-on, something that'll scan your prices for you. And, I mean, you can really, really get in there and kind of wheel and deal, and you can make a lot of money. But, you know, you don't necessarily have to, you can still just do basic stuff, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You can just kind of make money. Like, you know, I'm just doing just basically mining materials and greens, and that's pretty much it. And some of that stuff sells really good, and Some of it doesn't. These are not pygmies. Are the pygmies up? Oh, wait. Oh, that was not what I wanted. Yeah, we will eventually get out of these gray and green mobs. Yeah, there's a lot of wolves and worgen, and like the not the dire wolves, the wargs. There's a lot of those to kill. So we'll be swimming in wolf flanks. And well, all that crisp spider meat is also really good for us because the condors in Red Ridge, they drop the tough condor meat. They drop it quite often, so it's easy to farm that. You found what? Please let me see it.
Go with honor, friend.
Ben reads the book's pages, then slams it shut. That shadowy figure I saw was a witness to my family's death. There are questions I'd like to ask that man, if only I knew who he was.
For the Alliance.
I must know who was that skulker in the shadows I saw the night my family was killed. Please, Aldar, you have shown resourcefulness. Please find that shadowy figure. I must learn what secrets he holds. I do not have clues that you do not already know, but here, take the book with you. Take the book you found at my farm. Perhaps some of the townsfolk can link this book to its owner.
Light bless you.
So, I mean, we all pretty much know who it is, but we still gotta go back to. So, I'm going to... see. Heal my way across. And we should get these starving dire wolves. Yeah, there's not too many of them. No, I need the starving ones. Really? Alright, spider venom. Seriously. After me talking up this lean wolf flank that's everywhere, you're not going to drop one for me. We're slowly inching our way up to 27.
I'm out of range.
Bandit cloak of stamina. 2 stamina. Meh.
It's too far away. I'm out of range.
Ding! Okay. So we're eventually going to have to get that to get that. We'll go and put that in. There we go. Just finding these pygmy spiders. I think, if I remember right, they're not a horribly rare spawn, but they're fewer.
What can I do for you?
Oh, good. You thinned out that pack quite a bit, and without those wolves nipping at our heels, we can bind our minds to dealing with morbid fel. Here, take some of these flash bundles. They make them in town, and a lot of have been donated to Sven to help with his cause.
See you later.
Right. Oh, good one. Okay. $185. So camera crit's just a hair harder than the axe does. So or it seems like it does anyway. Right, one more. There we go. So we could do that. Let's go on and turn that in. And then head back to town. Because there's some quests to kill some zombies and skeletons over here. Or skeletons at the least. And I'll need to get a bronze tube from somewhere. But you can really appreciate it. It's like got a very Sleepy Hollow kind of vibe to it, I guess. Like all the trees are, you know, really close and just old growth and just everything is just kind of just sketchy. I love it. I did look at getting some upgrades, like some armor upgrades, and you know, honestly, we're doing actually pretty good.
What can I do for you?
Night Watch Gauntlets, not bad. I like that stamina though. Also got that flower quest that we can turn in Stormwind, so we'll need to do that. When I'm back there, I will grab a bronze tube out of the auction house. Unless I can find a engineering vendor. Sometimes they have those. Lightbane Shadow Weavers. We'll get those. Want to get this turn in before the end of the video. So yeah, skeleton fingers. We got a bunch of skeletons to kill. Let's get these few turned in. Hey, the Legend of Stalvan. Oh, I remember you. You're the one who was asking. I'll read that before I turn that in. To the Honorable Headmaster Krillian, my former master, I write to you so that you might know what your apprentice has been doing of late. Paying heed to your advice, I sought to build my knowledge and wisdom through travel outside the gates of our beloved Stormwind. My journeys took me to many places, but I have decided to take up residence here in the lovely town of Moonbrook. The surrounding fields of Westfall are most beautiful as the harvest approaches. Within just a few days of my visit, I found myself tutoring the local children from the nearby farmlands. The lesson went so well that the town mayor commissioned me to run a school, and construction has begun on a brand new schoolhouse. From Silver Pine to Stormwind and now Moonbrook, who would have guessed I'd have seen so much of Azeroth? Warmest regards, Stalvan Mistmantle.
Hello.
Hey,
Safe travel.
interesting. So the chap did spend some time in Moonbrook after all. It is rather odd The letter never got delivered. Nonetheless, I shall update the registry.
Have a good one.
Oh my, must have missed this the first time. In the registry, right beneath the first address for Stalvin, there's another one listed, one partially scratched out. It looks like he was headed to the Lion's Pride Inn over in Goldshire. Might want to check there, Aldar.
See you around. Light be with you.
The Weathered Grave. Morgan Lattimore. Ah, yes, of course. His was a long and sorrowful tale. I knew him well before he left for the war, but that was the last time I saw him. A noble and good man he was, but he suffered a bad end. I should have something here that can tell you the tale better than my own recollections.
Be careful.
He searches through the shelves and comes up with a leather-bound book. If you would like to know more, you might ask Althea. She's been the one to handle the trouble with him of late. Story of Morgan Lattimore.
Light bless you.
Right. Probably got time to read that. Oh. Did we not actually get it? Or maybe we get it from her.
Can I help you?
There we go.
Safe travels.
Morgan Lattimore, never heard of... Oh, you mean Mor Ladim. I guess you haven't heard the story. Well, I'll give you the short version. A wandering undead calling itself Mor Ladim has been wandering Duskwood. From what we've gathered, it appears to be the undead body of Morgan Lattimore, of whom you apparently know. He's been causing us all sorts of problems, attacking watchmen on patrol and killing people. You seem capable enough. Maybe you could lay him to rest.
See you around.
From what my scouts tell me, Mor Ladim wanders throughout Duskwood, following a strange and meandering path through the cemetery. We buried him out past the house on the hill. You know where that is. There isn't anything I can do to help you, but I wish you good luck. Kill Mor Ladim and return his skull to Commander Althea Ebenlock in Darkshire.
Have a good one.
Alright. How many pages is this? Oh, goodness. Morgan Lattimore was a great and noble knight who fought in defense of the innocent, the poor, and the afflicted. For many years, he worked diligently through the outlying areas of Azeroth, bringing relief to the suffering and swift justice to evildoers. He was married to a young girl named Liz in the summer of his 18th year. They were much in love with each other and would eventually produce 3 children, a son and 2 daughters. Morgan was 32 when war broke out in Lordaeron. Morgan was called to the side of the legendary Paladin Uther the Lightbringer to fight against the orcs and the undead. Leaving his wife and children in the safety of his home, Morgan left for war. Years passed and the war dragged on, and Morgan would witness many horrific events, including the disbanding of the Paladins of the Silver Hand, the death of Uther, and the spread of the plague. The only thing that kept him from the brink of madness was the knowledge that he would someday be reunited with his wife and children. Morgan would eventually return to his homeland, but find it nothing like how he remembered it. The once verdant forest was corrupted and teemed with the undead and other dark forces. Destroyed houses and farms could be found everywhere, and the cemetery near Raven's Hill now dominated much of the area. A shocked and bewildered Morgan eventually made his way to his home, only to find it in ruins. Not knowing what had befallen his homeland, he headed towards the village to find answers, and he hoped his wife and children. Morgan inquired about his family, but could not find any answers. A priest in Darkshire, as it is now called, said that he might search the cemetery at Raven Hill for a gravestone. Morgan refused to believe that his family was dead, and continued to search every farm and house in Duskwood, but to no avail. Morgan rode from Darkshire to nearby Lakeshire, thinking that perhaps his family had fled. On his way there, he decided against his better judgment to stop by the Ravenhill Cemetery. Morgan spent hours walking amongst the gravestones. He recognized many names of people that he knew and became more and more distraught. Then he saw them. A small, untended plot against the many with 3 small gravestones. A feeling of dread washed over him as he approached. Morgan brushed off the dust of the most prominent gravestone to reveal the name upon it. Simply carved upon the grave, letters spelled out his worst fear. Liz Lattimore, beloved wife and mother. Morgan's apprehension turned to dismay and then to grief, and he fell to his knees, weeping. For hours he stared at that one grave, begging the cold stone for forgiveness and sobbing apologies. Then, hours later, something in him snapped, and he began to lash out. He brought his sword out of its scabbard and began to rain blows on the gravestones, screaming in rage. Blind in his fury, he lashed out and swung wildly, catching the notice of a trio of the cemetery's attendants. As they tried to restrain him, he turned his focus on them, hurling accusations of guilt upon the innocent attendants, then killed them all. Later, when the rage had passed, the realization crept into Morgan's mind, and he saw his bloody sword driven into the chest of one of the attendants. Driven to the brink by his emotions, he removed his belt knife and plunged it into his own heart. Morgan Lattimore's body and the 3 bodies of his victims were found the next day. He was quickly buried, without ceremony, in a hastily dug grave on the outskirts of the cemetery. Because Morgan committed murder against innocence, something that went completely against his beliefs and his nature, and because of the grief that he held, in being unable to save his family, Morgan could not die a peaceful death, and lived on as one of the restless dead. Only days later, his grave was disturbed, and his body could not be found. The being that was Morgan now wanders Duskwood, consumed by his grief over the loss of his wife and children, and his own self-hatred. Ladim, as he now calls himself, roams Duskwood with mindless vengeance and hatred. It has been known to commit murder indiscriminately. So tragic. So tragic. I mean, anybody that says that the writing in World of Warcraft is not... I mean, you know, it's not as good as it once was. But, like, back in vanilla, it was good stuff. Need some crab cakes, do you? Well, I might be able to cook something up for you. I'll let you in on a little secret. Dusky crab cakes are really made from spider legs. I know it's a bit disgusting, but the cakes have a nice tangy flavor to make great snacks. Bring me gooey spider legs, and I'll whip you up a few of them. And we get... which we've already got a bunch. Ah, yes, a nice clutch of legs you have there. Let me just get these seasoned with my secret spices. And you get them to skittering on a skillet for a while. And although dusky crab cakes are my specialty, and I won't give you the recipe, here's a recipe for a dish that's almost as good.
Be careful.
All right. Well, we've got to go to... Stormwind. Took me a while to work that out in my poor addled brain. And turn in... let's see... Yeah, to get Stormwind seasoning herbs. And then... a noble brew. Oh, musquash root. Where did I get that? Oh, in the wetlands. Okay, so...
Well met. Light bless you.
Ah, ghost hair thread is what you need, is it? Daggone, I keep going over an hour. I'm afraid I have none in stock, but I can make some for you if you can supply the ghost hair.
Safe travel.
There's a poor sad spirit, Blind Mary, who haunts an old farmhouse in the hills south of Darkshire. Here, take this spectral comb and ask Blind Mary to comb her hair. Then bring back the comb, and I will glean from it the ghost hair I need for the thread.
Go with honor, friend. Light bless you.
You have something that belongs to the shadowy figure from who you seek. Let me see it. I may be able to divine something of its owner.
Farewell.
Someone handled this book recently, someone who is driven by revenge. But the impressions left on it, at least the impressions from the original owner, are faint. I can tell, however, that the original owner of this book is not native to Darkshire.
Be careful.
Here's your book back, and I bid you fortune in your search. If you ask others in town, perhaps they can offer you more clues. And here's one more thing for you. Although the author of this book is a stranger to Darkshire, the book itself was purchased here.
Farewell.
Alright, so I'm going to go on and call that an episode, and we will continue our Scooby-Dooing of Darkshire in the next episode. As always, I hope you guys are enjoying the content, and hit like and subscribe as always, and leave a comment if you want to, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.